wasn't
We
sure
only have
whether
a
to
few
do.
days of that left.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure whether or not to do it. You gotta do it.
Oh
they're
no, I
gone.
was gonna do the I was gonna do the screaming one, but we're not really for screaming yet.
Not yet. Give it a minute. Give it
yeah.
a minute.
Yeah. The morning bed crapping hasn't happened yet.
I wonder if Jane Street is just taking Christmas holidays off.
I doubt that.
I doubt that too. Those guys never sleep. They
Nope.
they only care about one thing.
No rest for the
Screwing
wicked.
up your portfolio.
Yeah.
Well, should we go behind the wall?
Just go right now.
Dude, I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. This is good. There's
Okay, so look,
I have
real quick.
we're gonna go
This
through
is
a lot of
this
crap.
is the one I have. The reason is because you can change the color throughout it. You don't have to have one. You know how you have the remote and has one color? Well, this you can break it into sections and it'll like fade it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I can only do. I think. Let's see what I got. Like a few different settings, but my kids always mess them up. I can do all kinds of things on these. Like we can change its color, just dots. Oh, rainbow dots. It looks like. Ooh, that one's cool. That would knock your socks off.
Those are behind the artwork, right? Not. Is that right?
Yeah. So these ones, yeah, I have a strip all the way around. I built this wood thing, and then I put the sign on it so that I could have the strip behind it. And then all the floating shelves, I built in a light strip into each shelf has an individual light strip, but then I wired them behind the wall. They're all wired together to one controller down here.
Dang.
So I can control them all. Yeah, it was a nightmare, actually. But it looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
It looks real cool. So I've got this one, but the problem is it says Bluetooth, but I think that's bullcrap.
It could be.
That's neither here nor there. The point is, it just plugs in. It's a wall plug. It's a 12. It's like a 24 volt DC wall plug at half an amp. So I've got to get a battery pack that mimics this. I could probably just take a picture of this, give it to GPT. Yeah, what am I doing?
I bet you could. I bet you honestly could. Like, hey, find me a wall plug that I can, or find me a battery pack that this will work on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Let's see how quick it goes.
You know they have those battery packs now that just have like a plug-in that you don't even have to USB it.
I need a battery pack for this LED light strip. It'll probably even give me connections on Amazon.
Yes, it definitely will.
Okay, it says most battery packs output 5 volts, 9, 12, not 24. Oh. Said if you get ones that are not 24, it will flicker, damage the controller, or not turn on.
Yep. Yeah, I damaged probably 4 controllers messing with it.
Really?
While I was doing all this. Oh yeah, they would blow up. Because I had to solder all mine together. Like I had to solder all the ends together and stuff, and then it was a whole thing.
So the cleanest, it says, is a 24 volt lithium battery pack. Okay, so where would I get that? Where would I get the 24 volt lithium battery pack? Now it's going to give me some links.
Yeah, what a pain. What a flipping pain.
Okay, so it just said, go to Amazon, search for 24 volt LED battery pack or 24 volt lithium ion battery pack. Probably 24 volt LED, don't you? Or well, yeah, no. LED. If you just say LED battery pack, it's going to have more options, right?
It should. Oh my gosh, LED strip. I would just search on Amazon.
It's tricky. It's not so easy.
It isn't easy. I assure you, because it took me a while. I had to do some wiring. LED strip battery pack. Let's just see if it searches up.
Those things are giant, though.
Yeah, you don't want a giant one.
Well, it won't fit behind a piece of art. I need a thin one.
Yeah. Yeah, then you have to find that.
Okay, this one's good.
Oh,
I mean, they're not. The good thing is, they're not terribly expensive. They're like
right.
$24, but they're thick. That's the
22
problem.
bucks. Yeah. How thick are they? Let me just look. I'm looking at one right
It's like
now. Let me
this
see.
thick. Uh,
Dang it. Yeah, they look big. You want a really small one because how are you going to tuck it behind the artwork?
yeah.
Mm,
This is a conundrum, isn't it?
it really is. These things are like huge. It's like a battery pack. It's
Yeah.
like a power brick for like a laptop. All the
Yeah,
ones
you
that I'm
can't
looking
keep
at.
that. You can't keep that behind a piece of art.
You could drill a hole in your drywall and just have a spot for it.
That doesn't sound good. I'm not
Oh
drilling
no,
holes in
you'd have to
walls and
repair the
stuff.
drywall after.
Here's a rechargeable battery. It's a rechargeable battery power supply. Now it's getting expensive, but the point is, it looks still thick. These things are so big.
I know.
And you know what?
Uh,
It was frustrating. I probably thrown away 20 of these because they used to come with the lights. They used to come with the
Yeah.
battery pack. But I was like, I'm not using a battery pack. What am I, a heathen? But
See, I've done all my own sprinkler systems. Mine are all like set up. They're all low voltage. They're all really nice. And they all like I can control them from anywhere in the world. I love this kind of stuff. This stuff is great for me.
yeah, it's cool.
Then you have the problem charging them. Yeah, you do have to charge the battery pack. Oh, here's a good question. Is there a cold wallet brand that you prefer? What do you use for your cold wallets?
I still have my Engrave N0.
Ooh, liking that.
Yeah, it's
Do you,
cool.
uh,
It feels heavy. It feels heavy. So and
Do
heavy
you
is
think
cool.
it's like better? Yeah, heavy's cool. Dude, I still use the ledgers. I have a bunch of ledgers. The new ledgers are
Okay.
really nice because they have the full-on screen and everything. There was the big scare that they have your key, but they don't unless you sign up for the service, so it's like not that big a deal. But I use the Ledger Flex, but they have a newer one now that's even cheaper than the Ledger Flex that has a full screen now too. That's pretty good. I don't mind the software at all. The Engrave is a complete air-gapped one. So if you're using the Engrave, I believe it's 100% air-gapped, but then you have to scan a QR code to update the firmware, so then it loses its air gap.
Jesus.
So it's funny because they're like, oh, it's all air gapped and stuff, but then you have to scan a QR code and you're like, well, I just lost all that air gappiness. So I've just gone with the Ledger. That's what I use. So hopefully that helps. I have a Trezor, it's just not as easy for me. So I have a Trezor actually as well. I just like the ledgers better. I like the software better, and it's easier to use for me, especially the newer ones. But as far as, I guess, security, I think they're all similar-ish. Yeah, I don't like Tangem at all. I've heard of it. I've looked at it, and it just doesn't appeal to me. Yes. I guess you could, Nick, you could just wire the power up inside your wall. Just fish a wire up there and plug
Buddy,
it
I'm
in,
not
man.
cutting holes in walls and shit. I don't live in a old sketch ass place. You got to think about stuff like that.
Dude, whatever. The new thing is to have all your artwork lit up, man. Everybody's got power behind their art.
Yeah, I'm not drilling holes in this wall.
I get that. I do.
It ain't happening. I just need a portable. Maybe the word I'm not using 24 LED. 24. Let me go. Let me do this. Let me go. Portable LED battery pack. Portable. Portable might make it thinner. Right? Like here's some.
Maybe.
Here's some for vests that keep you warm. Those got to be thin, right?
Those got to be thin. But remember, the smaller they are, the more you're going to have to charge it because it'll run out of. I had some little ones that were like the size of a AAA battery, but I had to charge the stupid things like every 3 minutes, I swear.
Mm.
This is stupid.
This
Do
one's
not
this
like
one's
that.
called Ultra Slim.
Oh, you had me at ultra and slim.
Yeah.
I could use both of those words.
But then it's finding the voltage exactly. That's tricky. That's tricky.
No, it is. It is.
Man,
I think I have-
this is not as easy as I had originally assumed. There's
I know,
lots
you'd
of
think
12,
they would-
there's tons of 12 volt ones. The 24 volt ones, no.
You think they would have a solution by now for this kind of thing? Because everybody does it.
Yeah, you would think a lot of people would be searching this exact quandary.
Yeah.
And I'm not buying anything called Power Queen.
Oh, come on.
Here's a DC power
That's a
supply.
DEI purchase.
It's portable 12 volt, 24 volt, rechargeable battery power supply. It's not cheap, but it might be good enough. And it has a little output for a plus and a minus.
Here's the part with this though. So you could have one of these, right? The 24 volt DC transformer, but it has to output in 5 volts. A lot of them output, let's see, what was I running into? I was running into outputs that would output 10 volts, and then I would see fire on my thing. It would like all spark. It would go, and I'd blow it out.
Oh.
Like I blew out so many of them.
Yeah, that's right. It's got to be a half
What is
volt
happening?
output.
Yeah. So
Okay,
half volt?
0.5 V output.
I'm trying to think.
So you got to put that. I put 0.5 V output.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow, this is a real tricky one.
Dude, you could do it. You could figure it out. You'll get it. You'll get there. You'll
Maybe
get
the
there.
company, maybe if I look up this company, Goovy, maybe they have, so I bet you they have
Yeah.
their own one.
Call their tech support. Hey, Goovy, tech support. What up?
Okay, I'm going to go to their website. I'm going to start there. Anyway.
That's good. You'll get it.
No,
You'll
not
get it.
5 volt, not 5 volt, half a volt. Half, 0.5.
But yours is half?
That's what it
Dang,
says.
mine's all 5 volt, I think.
The current is 0.5. Well, no, sorry, 0.5 amps, 12 watt.
Oh, 0.5 amps. That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
12
It
watt.
doesn't say what the,
It should be 5 volt.
it doesn't say. It just says 24 volt DC, okay, for voltage. Current 5 amps, power 12 watts. Made in China, Shenzhen. Gosh dang it.
Well, you're going to have to go that
You ain't
route.
getting
You know.
nothing out of the people at Shenzhen. Oh, know what I'll do? I'll go on Amazon. I'll look up Goovy products, LED products on Amazon, and maybe they'll have. Yeah. What a headache. Anyway, so
Kinda fun.
we're talking about anything that's not the dump that I'm sure we're going to get 2 hours into the trading day today. Every day, like clockwork, the price is stable around 28.50,
Anywho,
29.50, 3,000, 31.50, and then comes the dick punch.
It's been
it has
crazy, man.
been-
It's been a crazy couple
Okay.
days.
What have you got? What have you got that is?
Well, how much time do you have? Because I kind of want to go through some stuff.
Let's do it.
How much time do you have?
I got time.
This
I got
is
nothing.
okay.
I
I
got time.
figured.
They don't
I
have a transformer.
figured. I figured you got time because you're not plugging in lights. So I think we're good.
No time.
Yeah.
soon.
Oh, yeah. Coinbase is adding stock trading. They're adding stocks and prediction. Everybody's adding stocks. Everybody's like, does that mean crypto's dead? They can't make any money trading crypto anymore, so they have to add stock trading. Yes, that's true. Here's the crypto price. So if you are down in your portfolio, that's fine. Because look at these prices. This is since president took office. So this would be January when it got inaugurated. Bitcoin's down 18%. Ethereum's down only 10%, supposedly. XRP 42, obviously. Let's go down. Cardano down 65%. It should be down 90%, but it's not.
Yeah.
Sui's down 71%. Then you got Pepe down 78%. Aptos. 83%. And I think
That's
Jupe
that's
isn't
a
on here, but it's down.
disingenuous. That's still a disingenuous mark in the sand. It should be since he won the election, because really
It
things
should
started.
be. It should be. I agree with you, because that's when people react, right? It's
Yeah.
not when he gets inaugurated.
That means nothing.
Yeah.
If you
Anyway,
go- if you go since the 4th of November of last year, I'll bet you almost all those numbers are positive.
ooh, I
Because
would be.
I know for a fact,
I know.
because Bitcoin was at 73,000.
Yeah, Bitcoin's positive.
I think they're all. I bet. Well, Ethereum maybe not.
XR
Only because
XRP might be at 400%.
no. Because XRP didn't run. Well, when did XRP run?
I'll
It
find
took a
out, right?
weird run.
I can-
XRP, XLM, and Cardano all took a weird run that was kind of based on nothing.
Yes.
But I think I would be curious about what the November price of Cardano and XRP were. I'm betting. I think the run for those was in December.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let me.
I think
see.
December was the kind of the near term highs before Bitcoin had really pushed.
So no. When's the election? November 5th.
Yeah, well, November 4th. So
Okay,
I think,
November 4th.
yeah,
XRP was 51 cents. So yeah, 400% since then. Good little run for XRP.
yeah. So all
Um,
these numbers
let's
would be
look at
big fat
Cardano.
green. They would be green dots if you compared to when he was elected. So I think this is
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I think so too. So this is in my mind is since the start of the year. We've had a rough year. That's only my point. We've
Yep.
had a rough year. I believe that. We've had a rough year.
Yeah, this is true.
But today we have $7.1 trillion worth of US stock and ETF options expiring today. This is the largest triple witching ever. If you don't know what triple witching is, it's the quarterly. They have quad witching. Quad witching is the only one worse. Okay, so they have triple witching is a quarterly market event that happens 4 times a year on the third Friday of March, June, September, December. So on these days, these 3 types of derivatives expire at the same time: stock, index options, and index futures. So historically, Bitcoin has ranged between 6 and 9% around triple witching periods. I don't know what's going to happen today, but let's go through all these charts and find out, because I got a lot of charts today.
Ooh.
So typically, the Bitfinex longs have been longing for a long time now. They actually have been buying since July, and these Bitfinex longs, they just buy in size. That's all they are. They just buy a lot of Bitcoin. They've been buying like crazy. And typically when that culminates and reaches a peak, we start to see a Bitcoin run as they start to sell off, which is kind of counterintuitive. But they seem to be buying always when it's dipping. They're buying like crazy. And then as soon as they start selling off, we see some, and they slowly sell off, and then they just repeat the process again. So we kind of reached a peak-ish when historically they've peaked their buying and they've started to sell off. So now that started to culminate along with these other things here. Right now, oh, this is the triple witching chart. So this typically you'll see a 6% move around each of these basically each of these triple witching dates right here. So now these guys are kind of watching this. Obviously, they're trying to see. And then I have another chart with all of the Fed. Anytime we had a Fed rate decrease, so just like we had in December, the chart has actually went down. Oh, I just did that on my own chart. So this is all these blue lines are when the Fed decreased rates. We had a big drop. This one was, I think this was, yeah, this is September. October, we had a huge drop. But I think these are just coincidentally market times. And then this last one, we had a huge drop as well. So these are all the times that the Fed decreased. Last December, we had a big Fed rate cut and the Bitcoin sold off too. So every time, it's funny because everybody's always anticipating a good move after we have a rate cut, but it ends up being the opposite, it feels like. But I don't know if that's coincidental or not, but it seems to correlate. This is also the biggest decoupling that we've ever had in history from the NASDAQ to Bitcoin, like ever. Like this is usually it's been correlated pretty well, and we've always been like, oh man, when's Bitcoin going to decouple? Well, you got your decoupling, but it's in the negative direction. So things aren't looking good for you right now. So in theory, you would think that these would try to draw back together. The problem being, is this going to draw back together with the NASDAQ pulling down towards Bitcoin or Bitcoin pulling back up towards the NASDAQ? That's hard to say, because once I see stocks start to drop, I'm a little bit worried for Bitcoin as well. This is also the biggest, I guess, the furthest point away that we've ever been from global liquidity right now. Right now, Bitcoin is trending lower and lower compared to global liquidity, which in theory, the more money you have in the market, the more money should be put into Bitcoin. But unfortunately, Bitcoin has, even though you and I believe it should be a risk type off asset where you should be safetied up, you should be able to put your money there, it's a safety hedge against the dollar falling and stuff like that, people still believe it's a risk on asset. And so people have been clamoring to gold versus Bitcoin because the market's so unsure of what's going to happen next. Even though we've had so many positive things going, it's really odd to me that this is happening in this way. And I still think that something really broke October 10th, which is this chart doesn't make any sense. I went through this. Along with the triple witching we have today, this is the maximum pain point. So remember last week when everything pinned to, I think it was 90,000 on Bitcoin and 3,100 on Ethereum. Was that only a week ago?
A lot has happened in a few days.
That's crazy. So we were at 3,100 pinning and Bitcoin was 90,000. Anyway, so everything pinned at those levels because last week we had option expiration.
What's Brandon, that? Last Thursday, 3,400 for a few moments on Ethereum.
Oh my gosh, this is insanity. A week can make a big difference. That's crazy. So last week we pinned to 90,000 and 3,100. So that's what the market makers made that happen. We pinned there because that was the point of max pain, meaning that was the point when most of the option traders that were expiring over at Deribit would be hurt the worst. So they tried to get that the best, except for the big guys. That's where they made the most money. So they would close their positions, open new positions, and try to get it to those points because that's when they would make the most money on their call options. So today, the point of max pain for MicroStrategy is 160. And so in theory, people are going to try to pin this around the 160 level today during this during this triple witching. So yesterday, I think it traded down to 158. I think it's a little bit up today. I'll probably show that in just a second, but I think it's a little bit up today. Actually, let's go look at it. MicroStrategy, it's 166. So it's had a pretty decent move. So I don't know where it's going to end up. Put this a little bit closer. So point of max pain is about here. So I don't know. So we could see a sharp pullback again here towards the end of the day. I think it's going to be pretty volatile today still, if we go back to that. But so we're going to watch out for that. Now, this is no, I don't want to show this chart. This is a dumb one. Okay, so this is the net positive change for all addresses owning 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin. And these blue spikes represent the amount of purchases that these types of wallets have made. Just recently, we've had this huge blue spike of these people holding 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin have a net positive change on those wallets, which is really odd. So they've been accumulating like crazy as the price has been going down. And the simple way to say this, obviously, there's been more sellers than buyers, but more people that have bigger Bitcoin positions are buying and they're still holding. So I do have some optimistic hope that this is why I don't think we're going much lower than the 80,000 that everybody reports all over everywhere. Everybody says we're going to 50,000, 40,000, 30,000. I don't think that that's true. I think we're going to hold here. We've been consolidating around this level for a while. And this helps me understand a little bit that people, these smarter people with 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin are buying on top of all the institutional buying and stuff. And so I think that we do hold around this level. Now, we haven't had this much buying since Bitcoin began, which is kind of crazy. So it's kind of nuts. This is the cost of production. Typically, when we reach a low point in cost of production, when it falls this far against this line down here, we see a bounce. And right now, the cost of production is getting really close to the price of Bitcoin, or it got really, really close the other day. So cost of production right now, 75,894 for Bitcoin, meaning that's how much the miners are basically spending to get each Bitcoin out of the ground. I'm going to say that just to confuse anybody coming in. Get each Bitcoin out of the ground. What? They mine it out of the ground. Yeah, it's just like gold. So once that gets to a point where it hits this line here, we usually see a little bounce. Historically, whatever. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what these guys are saying. So I kind of like that. Also, if you take market cap divided by the hash rate, you get this measuring stick. Basically, it's a yardstick. A Bitcoin yardstick is anytime you measure Bitcoin against anything else. For example, if you measure Bitcoin against the dollar, it's one thing. If you measure Bitcoin against the price of a house, that's another yardstick. They call us the Bitcoin yardstick. So this Bitcoin yardstick is market cap of Bitcoin divided by the hash rate. So right now we're hitting a new low. And anytime this has happened, it's bounced as well. So we have so many things saying there's going to be a little bit of a Bitcoin bounce. And then obviously the only issue that I see here, if we come over to the stinking Bitcoin ETFs, we still had continued outflows. BlackRock sold off again. No, not BlackRock. Fidelity sold off again. We had a net negative day. A couple days ago, we actually had a positive day that was pretty decent size, $457 million, which I didn't see that coming. That was actually a pretty big day. So we've had all these down days of outflows in a row, but now we're starting to get more, a couple positive days here and there, a couple positive days here and there. So I think the massive sell event could be nearing an end. The only thing that I have that could be like, oh, it might not be over yet is we have the holiday low volatility time coming up where people tend to not trade as much. So we could see a little bit more downside here. And then the last thing that I wanted to point out, over the last 2 weeks, your friend, Michael Saylor, has bought a ton of Bitcoin, and I'll show you that on his chart in a second. But he's visited 2 of the biggest banks, and he trolls with these comments. One, this is JP Morgan. He's went and visited, and this is Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley's the one that's controlling the index that's supposedly going to kick them out. So he went and visited with Morgan Stanley. And during this time, he's purchased $1 billion worth of Bitcoin over the last couple of weeks. So I do feel that he knows some stuff that's happening behind the scenes that could be pivotal towards a move in Bitcoin. I think that's going to be a big deal. And then the last thing that I did want to point out that I think is important. I know we're all sitting here, we're all like, oh my gosh, when's Bitcoin going to move? What's going to happen here? So this is the S&P. Since 1995, we had a pretty smooth run all the way up until 2008. Then things started to depeg, and I'll explain this chart here. What this chart means is since 1995, the S&P has returned 2,600%. Pretty good returns, okay? Not too bad. So if you just put your money in, you held it, 2,600%. Now, if you take out the 10 worst days, you would have had 3x returns. That's just 10 days over 1995. That's 2005, 30 years. Okay. Take out 10 days. Take those 10 days out. If you were out of the market those 10 days, you would have returned 3 times better. 10 days rocked the S&P by 4,000%. 10 days. The inverse is true a little bit as well. So if you exclude the 10 best days, you only would have gotten 1,200% return. So the reason that I show this is it's better to stay in the market, because if you miss those 10 days or that 1 day a year when you have a huge move, you're going to be kicking yourself in the foot, because you're going to miss out on double, triple the returns, because those 10 days or that 1 day out of the year that you miss could be the difference between 1,200% and 6,400%. So it's interesting. So even this, the divergence started accelerating in 2008 when the market experienced 5 of its 10 worst days. So let's just say, I mean, if you did happen to miss that would have been great. And then in 2020, I had 3 of the worst 10 days. That means over the other 28 years, only 2 bad days happened that were like critical, like that affected things. So it's crazy how one day can control that much of a swing. And so that's why with Bitcoin, I don't really trade in and out of it, but I do watch it a little bit, but I don't trade in and out of it because it's easier for me just to stay into Bitcoin and not miss out on these big days. Because if you do, then you're going to be kicking yourself in the foot. So hopefully that helps highlight a few things going on in the market right now. I think we're reaching a point, obviously, of low volatility coming into the holidays where things are going to be a little bit slower. We're going to be experiencing a time when not as many people are going to be trading, but I think we've already dropped to a point. Even if, let's pull this chart back up because I like to look at the live chart. Let me change this to the 4-hour here. We've had some big drops. Something definitely broke on October 10th. If we look at October 10th, 126, that was October 6th. So even October 10th, something broke. Something broke, and it's never going to be talked about. They might do a study on it. Who knows? But something definitely broke October 10th and fundamentally broke crypto because that's when it decoupled from the NASDAQ 100%. And the NASDAQ has gone up pretty much every day since October 10th. Like if we look at October 10th on the NASDAQ, it had a little blip, no big deal. And then it's been trading around here just fine. Gold, I won't even pull that chart up because it's insane. But it's done really well since October 10th as well. So something definitely broke October 10th. But I do think that we've fallen enough to where we are starting to capitulate. I don't think I would definitely sell here. I would definitely just kind of be watching the market and seeing where things go. Oh, this is a sham, by the way. Don't look at this. Who's buying the Solana and XRP ETF? Solana is a like-kind exchange thing. So look at the price of Solana. I mean, it has had positive days ever since the ETF started, and it's just been flat straight down.
Yeah,
it hasn't been the new thing that everybody's talked about.
From one pocket to the next.
Yeah, because it's like, they can just move it from one part to the other part. And so that's who's doing that. And the XRP ETFs, do we even have a metric on that? Let me see if there's even a metric over here. XRP ETFs. I'm guessing, dude, we're talking total.
It's like nickels,
40.
dude. It's like nickels, and
that
first big infusion was basically Ripple itself pulling some shenanigans, like a little bit of a like.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't trust this.
Yeah.
With a 10-foot pole, not even one little bit. I wouldn't even touch this at all. Yeah. Anyway, so all that said, I don't think I'm getting out of the market. I'm not still. Anyway. There are some moves to be made here soon. So we're watching all this stuff. I do this study in every day. Like this is all I do every single day. We watch all this stuff. Would it be normal to be, I think I'm down like 65% since October 10th because I had some unique altcoin plays. So yeah, normal to be down 40%, I would say. That's not bad at all, actually. So if you're in crypto, but I'm sure you guys are only like we talk about 10, 15% in crypto, and the rest of your assets are in stock market and things like that, I would assume, right? So yeah, to be down 40% on 15% of your portfolio, that's normal for now, but I do think we're going to have a quick catching up. This is going to be one of those things where you're going to want to definitely not miss out on one of those 10 days that I talked about here, where the S&P returned. Some of the 10 best days you don't want to miss out on. That's where all the gains are made on those 10 days a year. That's when all the big moves are made. So, okay. That was a lot of charts, guys. That was a lot of charts.
So many charts.
So many charts, so much information to dive through. So much fun. Okay. Should we go behind the wall and talk?
We should.
What's going to be coming up?
We should. It's time.
Let's do it.
Click on these buttons right here.
Going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now